Hey everybody, it's me again, and back here for a Meet You at the Well Wednesday, and I'm very excited because I've got Jim Anderson with me. And hey, Jim, how's it going?
I'm doing great, Andrew. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
And I see you are in a very special looking room, and we'll get to this in just a little minute. But before we kind of get to our tasting today and the drink that you suggested, just how's the rest of the fam doing?
We're doing good. It's me and Uli are, quarantined together, and Michelle is still on the premises, so she's kind of
Okay,
our family unit. So we get to, be three of us be together anyway. We're kind of doing,
nice.
strict social distancing with the rest of the family,
Mm-hmm.
especially
That's
important.
that's
I'm
got to
sorry.
be hard with a grandchild, doesn't it?
Oh God, that's the worst part.
I bet.
Worst part. But Natalie's really good about sending us. Natalie and Matt are both sending us pictures and little videos
Good.
and stuff. So yeah, she's awesome. She's growing really fast and
Mm-hmm.
beautiful and smart and everything. So
Yeah. Are you just going and like putting your face on the window and trying to, see her at least through that or something? Have you got that desperate yet?
well, we did do like a social distancing walk like last
Okay.
we we did, they came over with the stroller,
Oh, nice.
and then we stayed behind and waved at her and made fun.
Oh,
Yeah, it was good.
oh, that would be torturous.
Yeah, she's doing really good though. So hopefully
Good.
not too long we'll get to hold her again, and
Yeah,
so that'll be good.
definitely. And how about Uli? Is she working at all right now? I didn't know she was maybe
No,
helping out with any of the school programs or something
not
like
yet. She
that.
hasn't. She was, kind of letting other people do that first. And
Yeah.
right, if this keeps going much longer, which sounds like the school's part probably will, she'll probably
Yeah.
serve food. But
Yeah.
she has to do some online training and stuff. So
Okay.
started to use Microsoft Teams, and
Wow.
it was pretty hilarious to hear all the different ladies yesterday. They tried to do a meeting, and
Oh.
it was kind of like Zoom, but none of them
Yeah.
used it before. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's a really funny Saturday Night Live skit out right now where they kind of reenact a business Zoom meeting, and
oh,
they've got like all different age groups represented in it. Oh, it was hilarious. So.
yeah, this one lady was like sideways.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
I get it,
yeah.
Bill. It was pretty funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Everybody's learning new things.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, definitely, and we're learning how to communicate and connect still the best we can, anyways, right now. So,
Yeah.
has this, kind of pandemic right now, has it affected your work much, or are you still busy?
We're pretty busy. We have some of our projects had to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because we work on a lot of state facilities and federal facilities. A lot of those were considered, quote unquote, essential.
Mm-hmm.
They're allowed to continue under the governor's, declaration of the stay-at-home order.
Okay. Yeah.
So, infrastructure stuff and functions that, apply directly to the essential things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so we've went through like a process of evaluating each of those projects to make sure, number one, it's really considered essential, and number two, if we could do it safely. So we have to
Okay.
put a good plan together for every project to
Mm-hmm.
we can maintain social distancing and make sure, just it can proceed safely. Because even if we can do it, ultimately we want to make sure our people stay safe
Yeah.
and any building occupants and all that. So
Yeah.
it's been challenging, but I'm really proud of everybody on the team that we've been working.
Mm-hmm.
Really figured out the whole work at home thing pretty quickly.
That's awesome.
I was joking we had a Tuesday Zoom meeting with them, and
Mm-hmm.
my next big challenge would be getting everybody to come back to work.
Yeah, I bet. I bet it will be.
Yeah, I kind of like it in some ways.
Yeah, that's good. I
So,
think you've shown us some different ways that we can do stuff, maybe. So
yeah.
that's good. Well, without further ado, let's get to the drinking part here. And
Okay.
so you suggested and nominated a special beer again, and we'll kind of get into some more of what beer means to you, but let's just kind of talk about the beer right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you try to say this, but I'm gonna hold it up to the camera
There we
here.
go.
There we
This is
go.
repeat after me. Weihenstephaner.
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 All right.
This is it's obviously German beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Hefeweizen on the label.
Okay.
Hefeweißbier, which means
Oh yeah.
Hefe means yeast.
Okay.
The Weizen means wheat, and it's kind of interchangeable. Like Weizen and Weissbier are kind of the same, and Weissbier just means a white beer.
Oh, okay.
Because when they first started brewing these way back when, in fact, this particular brewery is considered the oldest in the world.
That is so cool.
Matt Side last week was pretty proud of the fact that Deschutes has been around for 30 something. Well, Matt, dude, this is since the year 1040. So
wow, 1040. That's crazy.
960 years. So the Germans do something. They do it for a long time.
Yeah, you could say that for sure. Wow,
anyway,
yeah.
So
you probably don't have any of the bottles though from their first year.
No, that would be that'd be kind of amazing. Probably didn't even have bottles back in those days.
Yeah, that's true.
I was really, it's back literally, in the years of the Norman Conquest and
that's amazing.
Middle Ages and all that. So
yeah.
So it's located in Bavaria.
Okay.
This style of beer probably goes back about that far.
Wow.
White beer because it was lighter than the other beers they brewed at the same time.
Okay.
So so it's lighter colored. By standards it looks pretty normal, but back then they were making more of these darker.
Okay.
Darker beers.
What else do we need to know about it?
Well, I don't know if you need to know, but
want to know about it.
Yeah. So this is so Hefeweizen is an ale. Okay, there's two basic types of beer, ales and lagers.
Okay.
And it all comes down to the kind of yeast that they use. So
okay.
This is an ale yeast, scientific name being Saccharomyces cerevisiae.
So people probably don't know this now yet, but they will now, is that you actually are is it okay to say an amateur beer maker?
Oh yeah, very much amateur.
Yeah, but you and your family have been making beer for a while. So Jim's not just making this stuff up. He's actually there's this and he uses it.
Something like that.
Yeah, he's using it for his own beer making. So cool. Keep educating us.
Yes, you have the ale yeast is Saccharomyces cerevisiae is the scientific word. And the lager yeast is called Saccharomyces pasteuranus. Very careful.
Okay.
Careful with the context you use that one, I guess.
Yeah.
It's actually named after Louis Pasteur.
Oh, yeah.
He discovered the fact that yeast were a real thing.
Wow.
Before Louis Pasteur came along, they thought it just magic. They thought it just fermented.
Really?
Fermented just, magically.
It was just God's goodness to humanity that would happen.
They literally, back in the ancient days, they would pray around it and dance and sing. And
wow,
the great goddess Ninkasi imparted her fermentation. So anyway,
wow.
So that's the two types of beer. I'm probably getting geeked out here, maybe, huh?
No, that's cool. That's very interesting. So this is
this is an ale, and it's specific. The wheat beer style means it's made a true Hefeweizen is made with at least 50% malted wheat.
Okay.
As malted barley. So you have at least half malted wheat.
Okay.
The other half is malted barley, and some of them are percentage. I'm not sure what percentage this one is. So
well, let's try a little.
Sure. So let me give you. So I got this glass here. This is the glass.
Jim hooked me up with
a beer, but this shape of glass is a glass for drinking a Hefeweizen.
Okay.
It's like you have different wines are better with different.
Yeah.
This is a particular glass.
So this is actually supposed to help bring out the taste of the
bring out the taste
beer.
best, and also these are kind of known for a nice frothy head.
Oh, okay.
You kind of pour it down the side and evaluate Oops, see, I already, sorry.
Oh boy.
I think,
I think
you're doing better. You're doing better than I did.
Not much now. Yeah,
All right,
dang,
we'll
look
give it
at
some
that.
time.
It's
It's way too
cool.
foamy, but that's
Yeah.
kind of what it's known for.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of pour it gently down the side.
Okay. And then let that kind of settle down
Yeah,
a little bit.
it'll settle out.
Okay.
As you're pouring it, you notice it's a little hazy,
Yeah.
and that's actually the yeast in there.
Okay. Wow.
And that's
Oh,
actually, that's
no.
part of the, and don't pour it all out. Don't wait, save the last little bit before you empty it.
Okay.
Just, just give it about an inch in the bottom of the
Yeah.
bottle.
Perfect.
And you're going to want to swirl that to get, because there's some sediment in the bottom of the bottle, which is,
Okay.
and if you want that full flavor, which is what you want to kind of add that to it.
Very cool. Okay. Look at that. I'm learning how to properly drink some beer here.
Yep, there you go. So this is the alcohol content of this beer is 5.4%.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very, what they call sessionable. If you're not familiar with that term, sessionable means kind of like alcohol, and I guess the idea is you can have a drinking session without getting too
That's
wasted,
nice. Yeah.
So you got a few of them if you like the beer. Most German beers are pretty lower alcohol than most.
Because they're planning on having some sessions.
They drink a lot of beer, so they're being practically minded people. They are.
That's true.
Make sure they.
So did you pour the whole? So pour the rest of the bottle now.
I still have a lot of foam in mine. So
okay, yeah.
You did better than me. Let me.
Not. But I should get all of it in there, right? Yep. Never mind.
It should all fit in there.
Yep, I got it.
I noticed that head is it's like whipped cream almost.
Yeah, that's very.
One of the things that you're known for.
That's very nice.
Some people will put a piece of lemon in there, either on the edge.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's not really the traditional way the German way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you like lemon, go for it.
Okay.
But yeah, so go ahead and take a taste.
Okay, here, cheers. Ding.
Ding.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Yeah,
it's very good.
So it'll kind of taste like Hefeweizen will typically have a little bit of. Some people describe it as almost bubblegummy or banana. This one's not too strong, which is one of the reasons I like it. I don't like too much of that flavor. A little hint of it makes it interesting. And
actually, now that you mention it, I think I can pick up a little bit of those things.
Yeah, it's very distinct. It's not clean like a Pilsner or something. It's got that, a little bit of spicy, banana, clovey.
I like that. And I can see how that's pretty smooth. So it would be, if you were having a session, you definitely could drink a couple of those.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, this is a good one. According to ratebeer.com, this is actually this is considered the best Hefeweizen in the world.
Really? Wow.
That's just that's just one website.
But still,
not everybody agrees with that, I'm sure, but everybody has their favorites, and
I'm impressed, and it's kind of fun drinking it out of the glass like this.
Yeah, and you can keep that as a little memento of our.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I got a lot of glasses back here, so it's.
Well, speaking of that, let's talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
But people may not know this also about you, but they should. You and Uli both are some of the most hospitable people, and love having people together and getting people together. And so you kind of have created a room for that. And so would you mind giving us like a tour? I'm going to,
tour?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to change the view, or try to change the view here. There we go. Yeah. So this puts you on a little, probably doesn't make a difference to you from what you can see.
Yeah,
but now
I'm still I can see both of us. So
basically
I'll unplug and kind of.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Kind of give us the tour.
A little bit.
Tour of.
So here's the doors coming in. It's kind of backlit. I have the.
Yeah.
Here's the bar.
Nice. And you built this yourself?
Yeah, my son-in-law Brian and I built the garage probably eight years ago now,
Mm-hmm.
and roundabout view here. So
Mm-hmm.
you can see, you might notice there's a couple of like mule themed things.
Yeah.
Mule, that's a poster from Uli's hometown festival they have every year.
That is so cool.
I have a mule here drinking the wine.
Mm-hmm. So what did you, you've told me the story before, but the mule is connected to
Yeah, the
where
mule is
Uli's from, and
here's, I don't know if you can see that, but
okay.
that's the sign of the name of the, kind of what we named this place is called the Gasthaus zum Maulesel.
Okay.
Maulesel is the German word for mule.
All right.
So Uli's hometown actually has a mascot, and the mule is the mascot. And that's kind of typical in a lot of German towns, at least in her region, is each town will have kind of a little mascot or nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Usually came up, somebody came up with it, probably hundreds of years ago about something that happened that kind of gave the people a reputation for something. So,
And is that like about being as stubborn as a mule? And they're proud of that. Then they're
proud of them. They're proud of being stubborn.
I love it. I love it.
Like, I think years ago, probably over 100 years ago, they wanted to route the railroad track right through the town or very close to the town.
Mm-hmm.
The people refused to let the railroad get built through there.
Oh, okay.
It's hard. They tried and they tried and they tried, and then the people, kept resisting.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said, well, those people from her town is called Oberwetzbach.
Mm-hmm.
They're as stubborn as a mule. The name stuck, and they're very proud of it. And they put it on posters. And
I like that. So what some people would maybe consider an insult, they really embraced and are proud of that.
So Germans are known to be stubborn. So
yeah, I've heard
these are the most stubborn of the stubborn.
Wow.
So, anyways, that's pretty.
That's what originally drew you to Uli, I'm sure, right?
Other things as well.
Okay, not just her stubbornness.
No, that was not the main thing.
All right, I don't want to get you in trouble.
No, that would be better.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, so you're enjoying this then, huh?
I am, yeah. I think it's very, very tasty. So far, I feel very lucky. So far, all the suggestions that I'm getting, I think, are drinks that people think I'm going to enjoy. So I was a little worried that there was going to be some, scary stuff, and I guess there still might be. But so this is great. Yeah, I'm sure. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I think this is very good. And it's been a while. I think I mentioned it when I drank with Matt last week, but it's been a while since I've drank beer, so I'm enjoying kind of getting a taste of that again. It's good.
Yeah, it would be hard to. I mean, Aaron Allen did such a good job the first week with the wine.
Yeah.
Hard act to pass up on that one, I know a lot more about beer than I know about wine. So
yeah.
I really do like it.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun getting a chance to taste different things. We'll see where this goes. So, well, one of the things that I've been kind of asking when I have people on is just, these are strange and different times for sure, but I think it's giving everybody more time. And hopefully with that, people are getting a chance to, think about their faith. And so I guess I'm wondering if there's anything you're kind of been inspired about lately, or anything that you're doing to engage kind of faith differently or just more in this time.
No. Yeah, so it's, I guess I've just been like everyone else in the world, I guess, thinking about what we're going through and what it all means. And I guess, without, well, still, being, understanding how terrible it is for so many people, as far as there's people who lost their jobs, there's people who have lost, lives. I mean, people are literally grieving for loved ones that they've lost. I think, we've been fairly fortunate in our area.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to my family on the East Coast, and they're having a whole different experience.
Oh, I bet. I
it's,
bet.
it's bad. There's, literally, refrigerator trucks in the streets of New York,
Yeah.
dead people and all that. So it's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to, disregard that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But in spite of all that, I think there's something good and even beautiful
Yeah.
happen in our hearts individually.
Mm.
I think in our
Mm-hmm.
church, I think the company I work with,
Yeah.
this past Wednesday, we had a Zoom prayer meeting.
That's awesome.
Company wide.
Yeah.
We've been meeting, we meet Tuesday mornings. There's probably 3 or 4 people get together, and we just kind of pray over the company and say to people out in the field and that sort of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
but our general manager had the inspiration to kind of put an invite out to everybody in the company who wanted to join by Zoom.
Wow.
So Wednesday we had 17.
Wow. That's amazing.
And we're going to have, and it'll kind of keep going week by week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see where it goes,
Yeah, that's a great idea.
There's a sense of that I get of, well, I think it's most people would agree, a sense of community in our company, in our neighborhood. We had the neighbor across the back fence.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped off notes at everybody's doorstep. Hi, neighbor. Oh my gosh. Let me know if I can help. Let me know if I can bring you anything.
Wow.
Just these kind of people are being kind.
Yeah.
They would before. And I think, we're wired to be social creatures. We crave other people. I think
yeah.
Sometimes you don't realize what you have until it's missing,
It's really true. Yeah.
Simple things of just hugging somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You used to take it for granted, I'm kind of a hugger. You meet somebody,
yeah,
give them a hug or a handshake, and I really,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for us extroverts and people whose physical touch is their love language, this is really a challenging one. But like you said, you can either be grumpy about it or embrace the fact that it's revealing to us how special maybe some of the things are that we take for granted.
Right.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And I think I also know from experience, this I'll get a little philosophical with you.
Well, that's what we do when we drink. That's why we do this.
So anyway, some people listening might have heard this before, but it applies to this situation also. Like every new phase of life,
mm-hmm.
even if it's a wonderful thing, there's always grieving something that's not there anymore. Like you're entering a state of being. Like even when it starts when you're born.
Yeah.
You're in your little Elliot. My granddaughter was in Natalie's womb, all safe and comfortable, and they got to take her out into the lights and noise and cold. And that's a transition, and there's she'll never be a baby like that again. And then even graduating from high school.
Yeah.
It's a celebration because you're entering into something new, but you're grieving because you'll never be a high school student again.
Yeah.
And you can't try to go back to that. You'll end up like Uncle Rico.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Napoleon Dynamite. He's pathetic trying to live in the past, and you've got to move on.
Yeah.
Even getting, this will get me in trouble with Uli maybe, but even getting married. I mean, it's true. Of course, it's a wonderful celebration, but you're grieving the loss of that single person that you were, and that person's gone now. Getting married, there is grief.
Yeah.
With every new thing that comes along.
Yeah.
A lot of people grieving now.
That's true.
Grieving the loss of our way of life. Hopefully, it'll come back to a certain extent. We're going to get back to normal, but I really hope we don't forget what we've learned in this process. I don't necessarily want to get back 100% normal.
Yeah.
Get back to normal plus.
That's good.
Whatever I've learned through this process.
Yeah.
But I just know from experience that every new phase of life has grief with it, and then there's something more.
Yeah.
That comes after the grief.
Yeah.
So everyone's grieving,
Yeah.
literally and just in less, more abstract ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I just know from experience, and I think it's the message of the cross, message
Yeah.
of the gospel, that life is after death, there's resurrection. After
Yeah.
the grief, there's joy.
Yeah. You're getting me inspired. I think just thinking about too the aspect of, so often we maybe set our sights too low, our goals too low. So if we're just all hoping to get back to normal, when actually there's a better than normal state that we could
Yes.
be at, and I think that's putting words to, I guess, something that I've been feeling too, of just like, man, let's soak this up and learn from it. And there might be some things that we can take and then have that change the way that we live once life can be back to, normal. Maybe
Right.
normal's not so great.
Right.
Yeah.
We've learned to live without some things,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, well, maybe I didn't really
Yeah.
need that so much after all.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great point.
And then people have an opportunity to refocus on what's really important.
Mm-hmm.
I took a bike ride and met a friend who used to be our next door neighbor, and asked him what he was doing, from a safe distance, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, he was saying like they've really reconnected as a family. Like they used to be active in sports, and they're like every single night, soccer practice and this practice and that practice, and just go, go, go. And now they're like all together in the house, and they're be able to reconnect and communicate in ways that wasn't possible before.
Yeah, that's cool.
So just things like that, I think is gonna. Hopefully, we don't forget it.
Yeah, I hope not too. And I think
the sense of community that all across the world, even.
Yeah. Yeah.
On Facebook, I'm on this Mark Knopfler fan club.
Nice.
Mark Knopfler fan.
He might return later when I ask you some questions too, I imagine.
Right.
So.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah.
But it's this guy so he put a post on there, and it's like literally people on this site from all over the world, and he just got cast. Hey, how is everybody doing? What's going on where you are? And just the flood of
interesting
supporting each other and expressing their love and concern for everybody.
Yeah.
Really all over the world. You had Italians, and
that's awesome.
Africans, and you name it. A lot of Americans, and just literally, probably 20 or 30 countries represented, and everyone's kind of in this together. So it's really a crazy, strange, nothing we've ever really experienced before in our lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really true. Yeah. It's awesome. I can't also help, as you were talking about that too, just to think about how that fits so much. Obviously, just what I've been talking about lately with the tree of life and our connection to trees, in the sense that it's out of something dying, a tree or whatever dies, the seed, however it gets out there, it's a dying process for a new life to, happen. And that's something so obvious in the tree world. And then when God makes that connection between us and trees, I don't think that's any coincidence then that we can continue to see that as a theme, even especially in the New Testament of, hey, there's going to be death that happens in your life. But as that death happens, if we're connected to Christ in that, then new life gets to spring out of that, not just for ourselves, but then even for hopefully the world around us, that there gets to be life that we give to others in from that.
Right. Yeah, I'm really liking your series, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, very, very good.
Thank you.
You have a lot more in store for us? Or?
Man, I think I do. Yeah, I'm really, like I mentioned, I'm really geeking out on the tree thing. And so if people continue to let me know that they're finding it at least semi-inspiring, I think I want to stay on it, because I just keep kind of having my mind blown with that connection and then the things that maybe that means for us on so many different levels. So,
right.
Yeah.
No, it's really good.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I know you were actually before we had to cancel church, and I think it's going to be a while before we're back to meeting together. But you were going to be on the docket to share because I know you were inspired about some stuff from before I even started the tree series, really, but back to talking about the tree of life versus the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And so I don't know if you want to give us a little sneak peek of that, because who knows when it'll be before before you'll get a
Yeah,
chance to
sure.
actually preach it. But
Well, this whole idea of, we're talking about polarity and how, making the argument that God exists outside of polarity, and the idea this whole, eating from the tree of good and evil essentially puts us in a position where we think we're right and other people are wrong. More so than that, we think we're good and other people are evil.
Yeah.
Which leads to like every problem the world has seen, really, when you think about it.
That's the implication I'm seeing of it. Yeah.
So it just, if I'm better, if I'm good, I'm better than you. And if you're, and it can happen in subtle ways. It's one of the reasons. I mean, one obvious example may be right now in the party room here.
Yeah.
I really appreciate German culture because, I've had an opportunity to live there. I'm obviously always German. And this, one of the many ways this, tree of good and evil manifests is in, if you think you're better than other people, the fact that if you think because you're a white male American, I'm better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not true. It gives me a lens, and I'm an old white guy in America. And so I do see the world a certain way. But and that's okay. I mean, that's lens. That doesn't make me a bad person, doesn't make me racist, me a xenophobe.
Yeah.
It's just who I am, and I do see the world a different way. But when you I think that the difference is, what I strive to do anyway, is recognize the fact I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I don't see the world the way other people see the world, and that's okay. And you can't dismiss somebody who sees the world differently.
Yeah.
That's their lens, and they're being honest. And so a lot of that was, different life experiences, of course, change, affect your lens and how you see the world.
Yeah.
Spending time in Germany and spending time with Uli's family was kind of a major thing that kind of shifted my thinking. It's like you meet with her uncles, They literally lived in her little hometown when Americans were dropping bombs on her town.
Wow.
Literally. And I said, well, my dad served in the Philippines War. But it was like, literally, had things been a little different, my dad served in World War II. He was attached to a unit that got deployed to North Africa to fight Rommel. But he went on leave when his training was done. They gave everybody a pass, and he went back home to visit his parents before he went off to war. His unit got deployed before they were scheduled to, and really missed the boat going to North Africa.
Wow.
His entire unit got wiped out by Rommel. My dad was spared, and here we are. So, it's funny how these things in life, affect that. But anyway, so getting back to the point, I guess. So literally, my dad could have been one of the American soldiers bombing their town.
Yeah.
Here I am, one generation later, and I literally love them. These are my family.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love them. He's like, this is my wife and her family, and they have embraced me with open arms, and they love me, and I love them. And it's like, it really makes you think, and you learn about their culture. You can say, I love America, don't get me wrong. And I'm proud of our country, and I think we have a lot of really good things to offer. I'm a patriotic kind of guy.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I think I'm better than people from other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you've been there, you say, well, their beer's
Yeah.
their bread's better,
Yeah.
their meat's better,
Mm-hmm.
their way of life, I like our way of life, and there's things they admire about us, but there's things I admire about them. So I don't know, I guess it's just a matter of appreciating other people and what they have to offer, and don't think you know it all, and don't think the way you see the world is the only way to see the world.
Yeah, that's really good.
And I guess I've been fortunate to get to travel, and not just travel as a tourist. I spent some time in South Africa, not too long. Get to live with, interact with the people, just do touristy things. Had the same experience in Korea, and I definitely had that experience in Germany for a time.
Yeah.
Actually, interacting with people in other cultures definitely changes your view of the world.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And it's very enriching. And again, I love America and all that, but I think it's very good to, try to appreciate other people's point of view and other people's way of looking at things.
Yeah, I think that's something that obviously in some ways, like I'm sure there's aspects where you've responded to God in that, but I also think that's part of just who you are, as like who God created you to be. But like it's very much, even an example of what we're talking about is that, partaking of life means that not only I want life for myself, but I want my life to have something for somebody else. And so there's an openness to that of like, come and take from me in a way. And I'm going to be looking to also take life as opposed to that tree of knowledge of good and evil, where it's I'm right, you're wrong, and now I need to, keep you at a distance or really take you out of the picture. And there's unfortunately, as much as you've experienced so many good things from traveling, going to other places, there are a lot of people that go to other places and they stay really closed-minded and they don't have the awesome experiences like you have. And so then, they maybe hate it or they experience something totally different, and you've experienced all this life because you've been open, to love people and not be judging them, and so I think it's on a very practical level. That's what we've been talking about, like playing out.
There was when I was stationed in Germany with the Air Force, there was a relatively small percentage of people that would go out and really experience the culture, engage in the culture like that. I'm not sure what the percentage was, but there was a lot of people that were either through fear or just because it was different. They would stay in base housing. They watch the American television station.
Yeah.
They would read the Stars and Stripes newspaper.
Yeah, and that's
they might take a little weekend trip now and again, but they wouldn't. I said, and they would complain the whole time, like, "Oh, I can't wait to get back to the land of the round doorknobs."
Wow.
Because it was our doorknobs around, and the doorknobs were levers.
Yeah.
The land of the round doorknobs. They hated those damn doorknobs, man.
Weird, yeah.
Because they're different. They're not like the doorknobs I'm used to.
Yeah.
Of all those silly things.
Seriously, wild.
But then I said, I'd say, man, there's people who've saved up for years and years to get to Europe for like a week or two.
Yeah.
You're here for like 3 years, and you can travel all over, and you're going to sit in your base housing unit and watch AFN.
Yeah.
It's tragic, really.
It is, yeah. But then that's perfect like example of that, bringing nothing but death on one, not real physical death, but just nothing productive, as opposed to the life that you experienced, the opposite of that.
Right.
Wild.
So anyway, I was fortunate to get to travel like that. Not everybody can, but that doesn't mean you can't travel. It means you can't do that. I think.
Yeah.
You can engage people who are very different from you right here.
Yeah,
don't be afraid to get in a conversation with somebody that has a different
Mm-hmm.
different worldview, and
Yeah.
and don't neglect what they have to say, or don't different political views,
Yeah.
different races, different
Mm-hmm.
backgrounds, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
to engage people and to be open to what they have to say. And whether you agree with it or not is not really the point. I'm not saying,
Yeah.
and I'm not suggesting this kind of universal, everybody's, everything's true,
Yeah.
blah. But to at least have enough respect for somebody,
Yeah.
a human being, to hear
That's
what,
good, Jim.
understand that maybe you need to adjust your way of looking at the world.
Yeah. I love it. That's
Life's a
awesome.
lot better this way, man.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a lot better. I mean,
I agree.
friends I used to have, and people I wouldn't have been friends with 10 years ago, maybe, or
Yeah.
however long ago. So life's good when you open your
That's
heart
awesome. Yeah.
and just love them and let them love you, and
Mm-hmm.
good.
That's awesome. Well, hey, one of the other things that I'm doing in this is just asking kind of like 7 questions for the 7 days in between our Well Wednesdays, and most of these aren't very serious. So,
Okay.
but just kind of, you've heard some of them, so you probably have prepared a little bit. I'll try to throw maybe 1 or 2 different ones in there for you. But just kind of first thoughts on this as I throw it out. So you ready for that?
Sure.
Okay. We're going to start with, what artist are you listening to the most during our quarantine time?
Actually, I've been working from home, so I have Alexa on in the background.
Okay.
Like classical music. Like I'll listen
Wow.
to like just something that's kind of can stay in the background, but still kind of makes nice.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll say like, Alexa, play Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, or Vivaldi.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, and it's just nice in the background. And also,
Mm-hmm.
there's a 70s folk station that's really good, kind of a laid back.
Okay.
So you have you could like James Taylor and Jackson,
Mm.
Neil Young, and kind of I just want kind of one more mellow stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I love Dave Matthews, and I love Mark Knopfler.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm listening to them a lot more than usual, but that's kind of my go-to guys.
Nice. I feel like I majorly missed one when I made our quarantine playlist.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I didn't include Dave Matthews' "The Space Between" on that one, right? That's like
perfect.
It would have been perfect. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there'll be a second playlist, and that'll definitely need to be number 1 on it. That would have been. I don't know how I missed that. Okay, what is one fun or unusual thing you and Uli family's doing to spend time during this quarantine?
So our oldest daughter, Katrina,
Mm-hmm.
organized a Zoom party that was kind of based on an Academy Award theme.
Oh, okay.
She organized it all. I don't know if she got a kit online or something, but I out these little packages at our doorsteps.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
So like round 1 was, you have to make a prop. That was she gave you a movie that was secret to everybody else.
Mm.
You have to make a prop and then give clues, like either a line from the movie or one of the actors, whatever, and then people had to guess and had to text their answers into Katrina.
Okay.
And round 2 was like trivia, and round 3 you had to give an acceptance speech as though you had as you'd won an award, and you had to give an acceptance speech. But there's stuff in the speech like you had to work into it, like they say,
okay,
switching your shoulder. And in my case, I had 2 ex-wives and a girlfriend in the audience. I had to,
Oh no, that's awesome.
I said they're all sitting at the same table, and I'm sorry for that. It's awkward,
Oh my gosh, that's great.
It was fun. So that was cool.
That's a good idea. That's something I definitely haven't heard yet. That's very cool. Okay, what is one show or series you're into right now?
Arrested Development.
Okay, nice.
Reruns of Arrested Development. It's, we watch maybe 2 or 3 episodes a night, then go watch something else. And we kind of we have kind of the routine of watching Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune and all that.
Okay, nice.
Good on, and we'll watch
something like that.
A couple episodes of Arrested Development, or
that's great.
Parks and Rec is pretty funny.
Nice. Yeah. My daughter Jordan's been watching a ton of Office. So I keep
Oh yeah, those are great.
getting distracted by the Office in the background and forgetting a little bit what a great show it was, and
Yeah.
still being reminded of that. All right. Number 4, estimate about how many photos do you have already of your granddaughter on your phone at any given moment?
Well, depends. Like my photo roll, probably, 30 or 40.
Okay.
But then we have Natalie signed up for this thing called Family Album.
Okay.
So it's almost like your private little Facebook just for the family. So I have, probably 100 or more on there.
Nice. Maybe a better question would be, how many times a day do you show somebody else pictures of your granddaughter?
Average 3-4 times a day.
Nice. Well, she is beautiful and adorable. So how could you not?
She's awesome.
How could you not? What is something you are or planning on reading while you have some of this extra time? I know you're a big book reader, so you're probably reading something right now.
Yeah, Jeff Paulus gave me a book called Dad's Maybe Book.
Mm-hmm.
It's I forget, I'm embarrassed to say I forget the author's name, but it's basically written, the same guy that wrote The Things They Carried. It might come to me, but basically it's a book that he became a dad very late in life.
Mm-hmm.
So he's writing a book to his 2 sons that are too young to really understand everything about him now. So he's trying to, teach them, about him. Anyway, it's kind of touching.
That's cool. Yeah. All right. Awesome. All right. Number 6. And this is a question I've been asking people, maybe not right at this moment, but on most days right now. Are you a shorts, sweats, or yoga pants kind of person?
I've been getting dressed every day like I always get dressed to go to work.
Wow, that's awesome.
Jeans, not like a flannel, not a dress shirt, but like a flannel.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of found I'm getting up at the same time as I always
Okay.
get. And I'm, just going up to the office. I think it's kind of some, for me anyway, so kind of have some ritual to it,
Nice. Are you doing like Zoom meetings every day too? So are you?
No, we do them on Tuesdays. And
okay. So it's not like you're having to be seen every day necessarily.
No.
That's just part of your routine.
I like to have that, something maybe just weird, but something.
I like that. No, that makes sense.
Consistent with my, kind of a little bit of.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Last one. And be as honest as you can be.
Okay.
Weirdest thing you've watched on YouTube so far during the quarantine?
Oh.
Or unusual. Doesn't
the videos you sent with those Asian jelly things, whatever they were. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that might be something that we potentially send out to the whole church here or something.
That was awesome. So I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil it.
But that is pretty weird.
It's pretty funny. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And just some of the memes on Facebook are cracking me up.
Yeah.
They just picture of just when it first started. They just pictured these like tropical birds, like really colorful, like green and blue. And it said, after only 2 weeks of quarantine, the air in London is clean again, and the pigeons have returned to the natural colors.
No.
Because the earth, and the last line was, the earth is healing.
Nice.
They're like parrots or something. They're supposed to be pigeons.
Yeah, there's been some great stuff there. Well, thanks so much for doing this, Jim. I appreciate it. I think it'll be fun for everybody to see you, and I'm sure. I know we're all missing each other a lot during this time. Oh, yeah. But now it's time to rate this. I wanted to save just a little bit. I like it because I'm at the end here, but I would give this. I mean, this is definitely, when I was drinking beer, I was probably drinking beer more like this anyway. So I think this is really good. I can't probably put it at like 5 with like the wine that I drank with Aaron, but I think I would put this at like 4.5 wells. Like this is probably as high as beer could get for me on some level,
Okay,
maybe.
that's
So
fair. That's
good
fair.
job. Let's give it a cheers
All right.
again,
Cheers.
ma'am. Thanks so much. This was a ton of fun. And my hope is that we'll be able to see you and the fam and everybody else in person sooner rather than later. Although we'll just keep doing this kind of stuff if it takes a little bit
Hey,
longer.
you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah. Thanks so much,
Okay.
Jim.
All right. Thanks a lot. Love
All
you.
right. Yeah, I love you guys too.
Bye.
Bye.